Hi everyone, I am back with the Mickey and Minnie card series for 2022. This is the kickoff card for Valentine's Day. The January card clearly didn't get filmed. I was not very good at, utilizing my time, and it kind of got away from me. So I will show you the January card. These are very minimal cards, I guess, this year. As you can see, it's pretty simple on the front. You can add as much as you want to this. I just like the look of, really simple cards. So it's a crisscross style card that has a pull-out, and then on the back of the pull-out is where I am stamping my sentiment and my cute little image. So I do have a supply video up where you can go check that out. I will link that in the description for you so you can go see it. But this is going to be the February card for Valentine's Day. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need 2 pieces for your base of your card, cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I'm choosing black cardstock again. It just fits really well, and it ties in the little Mickey heads. So you'll need 2 of those, and we're gonna do some scoring and cutting. Now I'm not gonna do the cutting in every video, so I'm just gonna do it in this first video, and then I will reiterate that the corners need to be cut in all the rest of the videos. So on your 11-inch side, you are going to score at 5 1/2 on both pieces. Okay, so now we're done with the scoreboard. You should have 2 pieces with score lines, like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it over so I can see the score lines better. There you go. And now we're gonna do some cutting. Use my Stampin' Up! Trimmer here. And you're gonna want to cut diagonally on one piece to the right, and then on the other piece you're gonna cut diagonally to the left. So you want them opposite to create the crisscross. So let's go ahead and do this one first. So we're going to line up our score line at the top, and then we're going to line up our corner at the bottom and make a diagonal cut. So there we have that piece. You could actually use this piece to cut out circles and make more Mickey heads if you want to utilize your paper a little better. So then we're left with this. And here's our score line. So now with our second piece, we're going to line up the score line here, and we're going to cut this way. So I'm going to line this one up this way. You want them to be opposite so that way they crisscross in the front when we fold them over. Okay. And then you've got that piece. Again, you can use this to punch out some more Mickey heads. Okay, so since we have the trimmer out, you're also going to need 2 pieces of designer paper for the front. I still say DSP even though I'm not a demonstrator anymore. Pattern paper, designer series paper, whatever you have, for the card fronts. And you're going to need 2 pieces cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And we're going to cut these diagonal as well. So you need to figure out which side you want your prints to go on. So I want my stripes on my left side and I want my print on my right side. This one is a directional pattern, so in order for it to be on my right side, I need to cut diagonally this way. So I'm going to line it up in the trimmer here and slice it. So there I've got my piece with hearts on it. Now I'm going to take my stripes and I'm going to cut from left to right. So this one was cut right to left. Okay, so there's my stripes. Alright, we are done with the cutter. So we'll set that aside. Now we're going to go ahead and start scoring. Or not scoring, we're going to start folding. So you're just going to fold it over. I did forget to mention in the supply video you'll need a bone folder of some sort. I've got this old Martha Stewart one I love. I do have a silicone one. Not used to using it yet. Okay, so this has our score going in to the left, or to the right, and then this one, you're going to score against your score line. And this one we're going to have go towards the left. So you've got two pieces like that. Okay, now we're going to attach these pieces together. So they form a crisscross. So you'll take your adhesive of choice. I am going to use my tape runner on my edges. Which I may not always do this, I'm just trying to see how easy this is going to be to manipulate, which I think is not going to be very easy. It's a lot easier to use liquid glues so you have some adjustment space, but I mean, especially if you're a beginner card maker, it's easier to use liquids for sure. So you want to line this up, but you don't want to cross over that score mark. And I'm just going to line it up. I don't have any wiggle room here, but it didn't turn out that bad. Okay. So we're just going to give that a good press. I do have to trim just a little bit off the top here. It kind of overlapped. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there's a little bit of overhang here. There we go. Tiny little sliver. That drives me crazy. Okay, so there's our card base. So now we're going to work on attaching our front pieces. Okay. So, a bone folder, press this down really well. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my stripes over here on this side. So that's where I want that. And I actually have a piece of cardstock that I cut to place inside here so I can see my border. So that's always an option. It's easier for me to place it down. And for this one, I'm going to use the tape runner, my ATG tape here. we're going to go ahead and lay this down. This always takes me a second because I always try to get it like perfectly lined up. That's not completely perfect, but you know, my cut is a little off as well. Oh no, I just didn't get it lined up over here, you know, whatever. So there's my stripes. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the hearts the exact same way. So I will just line this one up over here. And it looks like I need to trim a little bit off on this side. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I always check it before I glue it down because sometimes it's just a sliver because the way that the cards cross over to each other, so you lose a tiny bit of space. See if that's a little bit better. Okay, so that's a lot better. Alright, let's go ahead and attach this one down. Okay. So this one's going to go on this side. Just like that. I guess it would have been easier if I would have glued that first flap down first. Oh, I start filming and then I always forget what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so that's going to be the front of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and run a line of liquid glue just along the bottom of the card here to attach that first crisscross piece. I'm just going to make sure that it's lined up here. Just like so. So that's attached. We're going to do the same thing with another little line on this side. Fold it over. Make sure it lines up on the bottom here. And go ahead and press that down. So I use, and I recommend that you use the liquid glue to glue the bottoms of these together. So that way when you put your insert in, it doesn't get stuck. It won't have anything to stick to once this glue is dry. Alright. So we're going to set this piece aside, and now we're going to work on the pullout. So the pullout is just black cardstock cut at 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And we need a message mat for the back of it, which is 5 1/8 by 3 3/4, just using the white cardstock. You could layer that if you want and put some red cardstock. I'm using Real Red Accents from Stampin' Up. You could put Real Red behind it and layer any of these if you want to do that. You'll also need your pattern paper. Your designer paper is going to be the same size as your message mat, which is 5 1/8 by 3 3/4. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attach these. So let's get this one stuck down to the front. Okay, so we're just going to try to center this right here on the front. Just like so. We're going to flip it over and we're going to center our white cardstock. Okay, so we're just going to center this one as best as we can. I think my cut is a little bit off on this one as well. Okay, so there's the message mat. Now we're going to go ahead and do some stamping on this side. And again, I'm using Real Red from Stampin' Up. This is the closest red that I had that matched. I like to match it with the bows that I'm using, and I used Real Red to cut this bow out. And then I also have a Real Red piece for my pull tab. So just like it to coordinate. That's the awesome thing about Stampin' Up. Even though not a demonstrator, I love how everything coordinates still. Alright, so I'm using the Lawn Fawn Plan On It Holidays stamp set. And I'm going to do the Happy Valentine's Day and use this little heart right here. So I've already got it set up on my block. We're going to go ahead and do the Happy Valentine's Day part first. You don't want to stamp all the way towards the top because you will have your little pull tab stapled up there. So you can kind of get your previous card. It needs to be about 3/8 of an inch down so you don't staple your words. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp Happy Valentine's Day right there. Then we're going to do our little heart down here in the corner. Just like so. Let's get this out of my way before I stick my fingers or something into it. Alright, so there's our Happy Valentine's Day, and I just realized that it's really not that straight, but you know, that's what handmade is, right? It's not perfect. Didn't line that up very well. Alright, so I'm going to flip this back over and I'm going to fold my little washi punch out label like this to create almost like a ribbon pull tab. So just kind of go like this. Give it a good crease. Okay, so I'm going to use my bone folder to push that down. Now, I always get one part of it that has like a little crease in it, trying to get these to kind of line up. So if you don't like that, flip it over and then you've got a nice line on the back. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to line this up roughly in the center here. And then I'm going to go ahead and staple this. It's not really the center. So you could take your previous one and line it up. Let's see, we're going to hang on to that. slip this in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and staple that. So there we have our little pull tab. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and slip that in here. That part is done. I don't want to push it all the way in. I think that glue is still drying, so I'm going to leave it a little more towards the top there. So now we're going to do our Mickey and Minnie down here. Alright, so just grab your Mickey heads, line them up how you want them. And then we're going to go ahead and just use liquid glue, glue these down. I'm not using dimensionals because the bow is already a dimensional item on the front of the card. And if you mail these, you don't want them super bulky. So let's get the second one stuck on here. Just like that. So there we have Mickey and Minnie heads. Well, 2 Mickey heads. Minnie will become Minnie once we attach the bow here. Alright. So I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of my bow here. Just kind of along the back. And I'll line that up on Minnie's head. And we're going to go ahead and press that down. That looks pretty good. You can kind of fluff your bow a little bit here. They do get smashed. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add a rhinestone to the center of Minnie's bow. I'm going to put a little dab of glue just to make sure this rhinestone doesn't move when it's dry. I always use the butt end of my paper piercer. It's great for holding things down. Alright. Okay, so now press on that. That's still going to have to take a minute to glue, or to dry. Oh man. Anyway, so there is our Valentine card for the Mickey and Minnie card series. I hope you guys like this card. It's really simple. I just wanted to concentrate on a simple one this year. I do have some other plans coming for my channel, and some different videos I want to concentrate on this year. So, wanted to make this one simple. There's our Happy Valentine's Day, our little heart. There's the pull-out. So cute. Alright, well, okay, that's the card for Valentine's Day, you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. I will put all of the links in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!